Now at 6, authorities in Newton County arrest a suspect in a murder case. Plus, a local organization donates $3 million to KCU Joplin's College of Dental Medicine. And how a local martial arts instructor who recently earned a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is bringing the sport to the 4 states.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities in Newton County identified the body found in a well yesterday and arrest a suspect for the murder. This is KOAM News at 6. A tip led the Newton County Sheriff's Office to a well on this property on Crane Drive, southeast of Seneca. That's where they found a male victim and sent the body off for an autopsy. According to the Joplin Police Department, that victim is Scotty Roller, a 36-year-old from Neosho, Missouri. Roller had been reported missing. Investigators say on March 18th, Roller had a verbal altercation with another man over the purchase of a vehicle. They say that man, 40-year-old Damian Fisher from Joplin, shot Roller in the back as he was leaving. Detectives say Fisher and an accomplice dumped Roller's body in the well. Police arrested Fisher during a traffic stop yesterday. He's now charged with second-degree murder and armed criminal action. Got some rain today. More is on the way. Doug Heddy.
We did. We got showers. We got thunderstorms, especially late morning into the early afternoon. Some stronger storms. Thankfully, nothing severe. And we don't really have to worry about much severe as we go through the evening into the overnight hours tonight. Even though we are going to get some additional thunderstorms popping up, a few of these may be a little bit stronger. But right now, you can just see some scattered little showers. That's it. That's all we got. As we go through the evening hours, some scattered thunderstorms start to pop up and lift off toward the north and to the east. This is due to a warm front that is lifting through. But again, nothing too strong, nothing severe, so that is the good news. Temperatures right now, upper 60s in Missouri, lower 70s, Kansas, also parts of Oklahoma. As we go through the evening hours, we drop back into the 60s, but then we pretty much stay steady through the overnight hours tonight. Severe threat tomorrow. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you then. Kansas is moving to phase out the nation's second highest state sales tax on groceries. The Senate yesterday approved a plan to phase out that tax over 3 years. It's currently 6.5%. Now, if the bill becomes law, the tax would drop to 4% next January, then 2% in 2024, and to 0 in 2025. The bill now goes to the House. Earlier this week, lawmakers rejected a plan by Governor Laura Kelly to completely eliminate the tax on June 1st. The Oklahoma House has given final approval to a Texas-style ban on abortions. The bill prohibits abortions once cardiac activity can be detected in the fetus. Experts say that's typically about 6 weeks into a pregnancy before many women know they're even pregnant. Like Texas, the bill also allows private citizens to sue abortion providers or anyone who helps a woman obtain an abortion for up to $10,000. The bill now heads to Republican Governor Kevin Stitt, who is expected to sign it within days. Missouri is now facing lawsuits in both federal and state court over the legislature's inability to adopt new U.S. House districts. Republicans control the Missouri House, Senate, and governor's office, but they've been unable to agree on a final plan to redraw the state's 8 congressional districts based on the 2020 census. The Missouri legislature faces a May 13th deadline to pass the proposal. Hearings have been set in federal court for May 9th and in state court for May 23rd. Joplin's first dental school is getting closer to accepting its first class of students. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky joins us from the newsroom now with more.
Dow, earlier today, KCU Joplin was presented with a $3 million check from the Joplin Regional Medical School Alliance. That check marks the first payment for the dental school after they received their initial accreditation in February. Right now, it's 60% completed and is expected to open by next June. When it is open and ready for students, they'll be working with unique and state-of-the-art equipment.
When it's completed, the oral health facility, the dental clinic, and the dental education facility will be the most scientifically advanced facility, not just in the United States, but in the world.
Some of the equipment students will be able to use includes a virtual reality simulation. The facility will also be modified with COVID-19 adjustments in place. I'm Bronte Sorotsky for KOAM News.
Bronte, thanks. Coming up, details on a country music festival that's coming to Pitt State in September. Plus, volunteers in Southeast Kansas teach students about the importance of leadership. Pittsburgh State University is going to have 5,000 additional people on campus this September for one day only. KOAM's Chris Warner explains why.
The campus of Pittsburgh State University is home to thousands of students every year. This September, it'll play host to the first ever Four States Music Festival, featuring a number of country music artists. Nick Noland is the owner of Social House Entertainment, which is putting on the festival.
You know, we just thought that it was a great opportunity, and I think there had been some kind of previous conversations where Pitt State wanted to do something like this, but didn't maybe know exactly how to do it or have the right partner. And and I stepped in and met Pitt State and just really kind of hit it off. And our visions were, very much aligned, and we were off to the races.
Nolan says that made Pitt State a perfect fit for the festival and provided just what they were looking for in a venue.
So we're building it in the field right next to the football stadium there at Pitt State. So really it gives us kind of a blank canvas to start with to really build out kind of what we had envisioned.
One concern that's come up is alcohol on the campus. Pitt State President Dr. Steve Scott says they're already prepared.
We sell alcohol at our football games now. So that's not anything new to us. When I was here as a student, we used to sell alcohol in the student center. So sometimes these things come full circle. But I would say that we take that particular element of the shows seriously, and we'll be doing our due diligence leading up to the show to make sure that that's done appropriately.
Pittsburgh Deputy City Manager Jay Byers says all these visitors will have a big impact on the city as well.
Well, obviously, anytime you have 5,000 people in your town, you have sales tax implications. They will buy food, they will buy gas, things like that. And a lot of them will probably stay overnight in some of the hotels. So all of that has a very strong financial implication for the city.
In Pittsburgh, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Nolan says there'll be some contributions back to Pitt State from the festival. Tickets are on sale right now. You can find out more on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Some area students celebrated completion of a youth leadership program. Volunteers with the Pittsburgh Area Chamber Foundation held activities with sixth graders from schools in Crawford County on the importance of making a positive impact on the lives of others. Today, around 500 students graduated from that program.
Effective way for kids to understand leadership concepts and to make a positive impact at home, at school, and in their community.
The Youth Leadership Program was created 20 years ago. If you want to volunteer, you can find out how on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Arvest Bank is celebrating a milestone for an annual campaign. Every year, the bank hosts the Million Meals campaign. That's where they raise money for local organizations that provide food for people in need. They've surpassed the halfway mark, having raised enough for more than 540,000 meals. That campaign runs through May 28th. A little bit later, a local martial arts instructor earns his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Plus, we have some thunderstorms right back in the forecast. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, we had some scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms once again for us today, late morning into the early afternoon hours, and we're still going to get some scattered thunderstorms as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Severe threat tomorrow night, severe threat as well on Monday. So those are the kind of two bigger days that we need to keep our eyes on. Of course, you can get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog. That is KOAMnewsnow.com. All right, temps, mid to upper 60s to lower 70s. Western counties, a little bit more sunshine over the past couple hours, so that's why temperatures are a little bit warmer. We have those southerly winds, which continue to kick in at about 10, upwards to 20 miles per hour. Looks okay. 7th and range line currently sitting at 68. Southerly winds at about 10. Humidity is at 65%. Through the evening hours, we're going to slide back through the 60s, and that's pretty much where we're going to hold. We're going to hold mainly into low to mid 60s for overnight lows. All the thunderstorms we had earlier today, these are rolling off toward the east. We have mostly cloudy skies. We have some random little tiny showers that have popped up, and we are going to get some scattered little thunderstorms. Nothing too strong, nothing severe as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. But they are going to be out there. You can see some scattered thunderstorms popping up. So 8, 9, 10 o'clock. These are with a warm front that is lifting north. And then again, late tonight, a little batch of thunderstorms kind of clipping our northern counties into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow looks pretty good. We warm up. It is going to be windy. We're going to have those south winds, 15 to 25, gusts over 30, but temperatures near 80 during the afternoon. As we go into tomorrow evening, thunderstorms erupt. Central Kansas is our cap roads, and these are not even going to move in until probably after 10 p.m. into our northern counties. So here's midnight. Along this line, we are going to have some threats for large hail, gusty winds, and we could even have a few smaller tornadoes, but very heavy amounts of rain. So this is an overnight event. Here's 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's just getting into the metro. I think once it gets east of Interstate 44 or southeast, we will start to see the threat, the overall severe threat starting to drop. So the best chance for severe weather is going to be when those storms form in our western counties. So we're looking Yates Center, Fredonia, Neodesha, Independence, Chanute, Iola. Those areas west are going to have the highest threat to get some severe thunderstorms. Kind of picking up western counties 9, 10, 11 o'clock. It's not going to be out there until about 5 in the morning. I'm going to elevate hail. I'm going to elevate heavy rain. I'm going to keep tornado threat low, but it is there. So we need to watch that as we go into tomorrow afternoon and the evening. Also rainfall amounts. A lot of areas will pick up half an inch to an inch of rain, maybe even more with some of those heavier storms tomorrow night. 79 tomorrow, alert day, just because we do have the severe threat tomorrow night. Most of the weekend looks pretty good. Some morning thunderstorms early Saturday, but the bulk of the weekend is shaping up fairly nice.
We'd rather not have the hail. We'd rather not have the heavy rain, but boy, we certainly don't want the tornadoes.
No, not at all.
Thanks, Doug. Hey, don't forget, you can be the first to know about today's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. You can get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone. Doesn't cost a thing. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Here's a look at our tower camera sponsored by R.E. Smith Construction as work continues on the KOAM More Power project. You can check it out anytime on our website, koamnewsnow.com/power. Still ahead, Galena hosts Frontenac for a doubleheader, and Pittsburgh martial arts instructor earns his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Danny Terzer has that story and more up next.
Columbus and Girard have been two of the best softball teams in the state all season long. Both teams have just one loss coming into tonight. Girard is 12-1, while Columbus is 14-1. Tonight, the Titans and Trojans square off in Girard in a big CNC doubleheader. In Game 1, Columbus gets by Girard 3-2. We'll have highlights from this one and the latest from Game 2 right here at 10. The Galena Bulldogs host a doubleheader against Frontenac. The Raiders enter the day 12-2. Top of the third, Logan Myers finds grass and right. He'll make it to second on the play. Then he takes off to steal third. Throw is off. Myers scores. Frontenac leads 3-0. Same inning, Jeremy Rayo keeps it going. Base hit. Scores Alex Williams. A few minutes later, Cal Turlip, with 2 outs, gets it to drop in shallow right. Rayo scores the third run of the inning. Now, this one not quite over yet. Frontenac leads 13-3 in the bottom of the 7th. A local martial arts instructor recently earned his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Sports director Jacob Leonard has the story on his journey and how he's bringing the sport to Pittsburgh community.
Pittsburgh's Andrew Brown got a bit of a late start in his martial arts career.
Well, I had an epiphany around the age of 21, and I kind of had that thing growing up like most people in general. They think that when something goes down, I'm going to be able to just handle it. And then I had this epiphany. It's like, I don't know anything about anything. I need to actually learn how to defend myself and, you know, take my life in a positive direction.
Now, despite his late start, Brown has worked for nearly 15 years and last month earned his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Right before blue belt is when I stopped worrying about like what belt I was going to get. I was just like, I'm just going to train. I'm going to do this the rest of my life, and when it happens, it happens, you know. These are all my peers. Like, I don't see myself as better than anybody in this room. Like, if you're in here working with me, like, we're equal. And so, like, they were all giving me crap. They're like, "Oh, professor," and I'm like, "It's Andrew, guys. Like, come on."
With the black belt comes a step up in competition for Brown.
There's going to be guys in my division that were winning the world championships when they were in their 20s, and, you know, I'll be 36 this year. So those guys have been black belts since they were 20, 21 years old, and I just got mine. So I've got some big shoes to start filling in. But I'm up for the challenge, and I want to lead by example for my students. I don't want them to be afraid of stepping out of their comfort zone and getting out there and testing themselves.
It also means more responsibility off the mat.
It's not just about like getting the belt in the martial art or you're tough or this or that. Like, you have to hold yourself to a higher standard around people. Like, you have to lead by example. I've got, you know, 30 adults and 10 kids in here that, whether I like it or not, they look up to me, and I have to, if it's in here, if it's out there, like, I try to be cordial, polite, be kind, and you have to hold yourself to a higher standard, I believe.
Brown spends most of his time passing along what he's learned to his students at Arise Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Pittsburgh. He's hoping to give the next generation something he didn't have growing up, and maybe a chance to earn a black belt of their own.
I don't want to be the last. I want there to be more. I want every person that comes in here to achieve that, if that's what their goal is, you know. I wish I had access to jiu-jitsu when I first started. I mean, we were at the YMCA on wrestling mats, looking YouTube videos up and learning takedowns from wrestlers. But if I had somebody to instruct me like the right way and show me the small details in the beginning, like, oh, it would have been amazing.
Brown teaches jiu-jitsu classes for both kids and adults in Pittsburgh. You can check out a class schedule in this story on the sports page at KOAMnewsnow.com. That's it for sports. We're back after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Harold Carter served in the U.S. Army from 1942 to 1945. Coffeyville, Kansas native was stationed in Tunisia, and we salute technician Harold Carter, a four-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. New GDP numbers out today show the economy shrank 1.4% at the beginning of the year. That's the worst quarter in 2 years. Also, a global outbreak of pediatric hepatitis has some health officials on high alert. And new research by Washington State University says exaggerated cell phone use and even Wi-Fi exposure can increase chances of Alzheimer's. That's all coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. An emperor penguin colony has a brand new metallic member. This tiny robot named Echo is in Antarctica. It's living there with penguins as it gathers information. These unmanned ground vehicles will help scientists study the vulnerability of marine ecosystems and potential problems that could be caused by climate change. The team says this is going to help them collect data year-round while having less impact on the animals overall. The researchers also say the penguins, they appear to be getting along pretty well with Echo. Penguins these days, growing up with their fancy electronic gadgets. I remember back in the days when penguins just had snow.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It was when you were walking to school uphill both ways, 3 feet of snow.
Yeah, we won't get into
Barefoot.
that. The weather.
All right, tonight a few scattered thunderstorms. Not a huge deal, but they are going to be out there. Most of tomorrow looks fine, but a severe threat tomorrow night.
Final sports note.
Big win for Columbus over Girard in Game 1. We'll have updates on that at 10.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.